Good afternoon, everyone. In today's video, we are going to be looking at another big storm that's going to be impacting the central and midwestern United States throughout this weekend, bringing a severe weather outbreak to the Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas area, going throughout the upper Midwest, which may bring another ice storm and another winter storm threat in that area. As you can see already for day 4, we have a 30% chance for severe thunderstorms. This you definitely don't see this type of risk be issued this area early, especially in February, but here we are. We do have a 30% chance for a severe weather outbreak potential down there in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. Don't forget, we also have that 15% chance extending out to portions of Missouri, more of Kansas, almost the entire state of Oklahoma, portions of Arkansas, and also a lot of northern Texas is included in that. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is saying that most likely scenario appears to be for a few supercells initially across western parts of the risk area, from the Texas Panhandle and northwestern Texas into western Oklahoma, with large hail and a tornado risk in proximity to steeper low-level lapse rates. After these few supercells form, this does look forward into a rapid transition into a linear mode, so a line of storms that does go into central Oklahoma and central northern Texas, going into southern Kansas as it does move that east-northeast direction across Oklahoma and Kansas, with both damaging winds and a QLCS tornado risk that we will have to watch late Sunday. Here we are looking at the precipitation type GFS model. We're looking at about 12 p.m. of Sunday, so this is going to be midday of Sunday. And as we head throughout early afternoon Sunday, we start to see a lot of storms that seem to pop up around the Texas Panhandle area, Oklahoma Panhandle, and western Kansas. This is where a lot of the storms will be popping up, it seems like, around 6 p.m. of Sunday. Now, as we head into more than 9 p.m. of Sunday, we start to see more clusters and more of this turning into a linear storm system that goes throughout most of the central portion of Kansas, going through a lot of Oklahoma and northern Texas as well. As we get closer to this event, of course, we will have a lot more details available to us. But again, that Storm Prediction Center is saying that QLCS tornado risk will definitely be there after these supercells begin to form into that linear QLCS line. As you can see, this moves into more eastern Kansas as we start ahead throughout those overnight hours. This is going to be 12 a.m. Central, and by then you could start to see some of these storms even reaching up into portions of Nebraska. Of course, all the way up here in Nebraska, you won't see that tornado threat, but definitely some strong overnight storms heading throughout there. Still, those storms going down there in Oklahoma and eastern Kansas. This starts to head towards the Kansas City area, and then eventually goes over the Kansas City area by 3 a.m. of Monday, and then this starts to head into more of Iowa, Missouri, even a little bit Arkansas. I think these storms will be beginning that weakening stage as it crosses over the border of Kansas and Oklahoma. But maybe some strong early morning storms here for portions of northern Illinois, going throughout even Wisconsin and Iowa. Definitely some strong, heavy rain band storms that do go throughout those areas for the early morning rush, and that eventually heads into more of a winter storm type system. As we head throughout Monday here, you could see this head into even potentially another ice storm here, especially for northern Wisconsin, going to more Michigan. You could see a potential for another ice storm as we head into next week, and this goes throughout portions of more of Michigan, even portions of Minnesota there. Could see another ice storm here as we head throughout later Monday. We start to see that snow transition here into portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota. We start to see some more ice even in Pennsylvania, New York. A lot of that snow, of course, north of those ice bands, and still a lot of heavy snow that goes throughout portions of the northeast, even going throughout Tuesday here. Still a lot of heavy snow bands do persist into the overnight hours of Tuesday into Wednesday, so definitely quite a long-lasting storm here. potential for a 4-day long storm as we head into next week. We just saw that major ice storm again over here throughout portions of Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, going throughout southern Michigan, and even portions of the mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania, New York, being those main states that got that ice storm. We'll see this a little more northward, but again, we're going to see another potential for another ice storm, especially impacting Pennsylvania and New York. This goes throughout northern Wisconsin, going throughout a lot of central Michigan here. Detroit might be impacted again by that ice storm, and then going throughout portions of the Toronto area, and then going throughout a lot of New York there with scattered ice, and some localized spots in here could see some major ice accumulations again as we head throughout late Monday into portions of Tuesday. We'll see those ice accumulations popping up across those areas. Again, this may change from the GFS model. We'll look at the European model. Here's the Canadian model just for verification. As you can see, the Canadian model as well does have another ice storm hitting these areas for the Minneapolis area. Could even see some of this ice here. A lot of central Wisconsin seeing the most of the ice, and then going throughout central Michigan. This does have a little more south, so Detroit will definitely see that ice if this does verify. And then Pennsylvania and New York, not seeing as much as the ice from the GFS model. The Canadian model has a little less ice for this area, but still major ice hinting here for Wisconsin and Minnesota once again. I will keep you updated as much as possible with this storm throughout videos and community posts throughout the YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications. You won't miss a single upload or live stream on the channel. Share this for any friends or family that may be impacted by this upcoming severe weather outbreak, even another ice storm and snowstorm that will be impacting the northern U.S. and central U.S. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.